Alright, doing something a little bit different today. Going through Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. Coming into Chickamauga Battlefield. And I'll tell you why. Allison and I do a lot of holsters, period holsters, some props. The Chickamauga Battlefield Visitor Center has an amazing amount of rifles and guns and pistols, all related to a gun collection that was donated to them. But it is just a wonderful resource. So we are going out here, or at least I am, into the entrance of Chickamauga Battlefield and then to the Visitor Center. Off to the right of me is the post, which is a World War II military post called Fort Oglethorpe. The gates to it right there, and that's a history to itself. But right now we're heading into the battlefield. Just entered. That building up to the right is the Visitor Center, and we are going to pull in there. Now this front part is the original Visitor Center, and the back portion to the right over there with the glass, that is the new addition, but it's been part of the Visitor Center since, I don't know, maybe 20 years or more. But there is two different parts to the building architecturally. But I'm going to park and show you what the inside of this Visitor Center looks like, and the museum with the gun collection. This is the outside of the Visitor Center. And I worked at the Free Press, Chattanooga Free Press, years ago. I did a graphic for the grand opening of this new thing. So my son, Allison, and I have one son. I think he's 34 now, so he was a baby. So that's how long this has been here, roughly. But that's north. So you got Nashville off this way, Knoxville off this way, Chattanooga up that way. Then you got Birmingham, Atlanta, Rome. So basically Chickamauga, Chattanooga, you can get anywhere in the south, which is why I made it such an important place. But let's run inside real quick. Hope you don't mind a little B-roll. Just a quick explanation why I'm out here. Might have an opportunity to make a scabbard for a prop, and I'm just coming out to the museum to get an idea of the size of the prop weapon that I might be working with. So just coming out here to do a little research to kind of get some ideas in my head of how this might work and take advantage of a great resource with the Fuller Gun Museum. But I'm holding back just a little bit because a big crowd of people just walked in front of me. I'm going to let them get in. We'll do a tour of the entryway to the museum and the visitor center another time. So I'm just hanging back and I'll let them go in, and then I'm going to scoot past them and go right to the Fuller Gun Museum. That's where we're going to pick up. Okay, this is inside the gun collection. There's some exhibits. And if you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know. Alice and I will do more of them. But this is why I'm here. specifically something like this. It is a 1795 musket. Oh, there's all the info. And I've got to figure a holster.
May I have your attention, please? The next showing of our overview film, The Campaign for Chattanooga, will begin.
Here's the backstory on the Fuller gun collection. Claude Fuller, he started collecting when he was a young boy in Kansas. He bought a small pistol and 2 boxes of cartridges for 25 cents. Fuller loved the pistol's mechanics and ignited a lifelong interest and career in engineering. He also started collecting guns. Now, Fuller dropped out of school at age 12 but never stopped learning. He went to work at a Kansas City flour mill where he was fascinated with the machinery and how things worked, and he gained a lot of hands-on experience. Later on, he landed a job as an engineer at a brick making business. He was awarded 48 patents related to the industry, and his collection of guns was expanding. By 1923, his collection numbered around 2,000 pieces. He and his wife continued collecting, but after retiring in 1933, the couple moved east of Chattanooga, and his gun collection started earning national fame because it was featured in newspapers and magazines. Now, the National Park Service estimates that over 5,000 people a year visited the Fullers for a tour of their collection. Now, let's jump forward to 1949. The Fullers had probably grown tired of so many people stopping to look at their collection. They decided to offer the collection to the Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military Park. The stipulation was the collection always remained in the park and was available to the public for viewing and for study. Now, this was the early 1950s. Ms. Fuller passed away during the donation process, but Claude Fuller continued to work with the park historians and the staff to log and document everything that was in the collection and what was being handed over. After things settled down, the collection was up for display. Mr. Fuller would often stop by the park and give advice to the staff and entertain guests with stories about the collections and certain items. Mr. Fuller passed away in 1957, but the couple's love for historic items and firearms and the Fuller gun collection is still on display at the Chickamauga Battlefield Welcome Center. It's a fascinating collection to look through, an unbelievable resource, and a perfect place for me to get some ideas for building this scabbard for a prop. Now, I know that was a quick little visit inside there, and it was kind of unplanned to do a video, so I've got to head back out. But anytime you're looking for some details like that, a museum is a great place to visit. I'm lucky to have all of this history around the Chattanooga, North Georgia area. As you can see, this is a pretty scenic little piece of property, the battlefield. It has a very dark past, you know. A lot of people died here. I think the total numbers of casualties, wounded, lost, killed, missing in action is around right under 40,000 people for the both sides, the Union and Confederate troops. So it's one of the bloodiest battles in the history of the Civil War. But today this property is a lot different. Very scenic, very serene, and it is a battlefield, but it's also a park. So there's plenty of hiking trails, bike riding, picnic areas, all kinds of neat things. And those little signs you see, they are everywhere. Beautiful place to come visit. Chickamauga Battlefield, Chickamauga, Georgia. But right now I'm back on the Fayette Road, heading north. This is why the battle took place. The road, whoever held this road held the ticket to North Georgia and Southeast Tennessee. This heads straight into Chattanooga, Tennessee. So we are out of the battlefield and back in Fort Oglethorpe. And if you like this kind of stuff, let me know. Allison and I will do more. Whitaker Wood Leather, got some information I needed for this project. Hit Whitaker Leather, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.